What's good, y'all? L Famous, living my life, not thinking about it twice. Don't be scared to like, subscribe, or share. It's dope content if you like it. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Now this joint right here is about the Bloods. Yeah, the Bloods. The most hated gang in New York State history. Yeah, man. The most hated gang in New York State history. You know what I'm saying? And what prompted this video is, you got salute to Mikey B. You heard we locked in. Salute to Mikey B, Moshe, and KK out there. They've been dropping some dope interviews with some dope Don Move brothers, you know what I'm saying, that was putting it in. You know what I'm saying? When I say dope Don Move brothers, I'm talking about real Don Moves, you heard? Because you got fake Bloods and you got real Bloods, you know what I'm saying? And a fake Blood is not just a dude that's a coward or this and that and that and this. A fake Blood is a nigga that's acting like he was there or acting like he was a part of that mess, and he never was a part of that mess. Because I was Don Move before, you know what I'm saying? I was Don Move before. And it's a way that you could be Don Moon and you could never put in no work. You know what I'm saying? There's a way you could be Don Moon and you could slip through the cracks. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that's part of that Blood Nation that they slip through the cracks. You understand what I'm saying? They not tough guys. You know what I'm saying? They not leaders. You know what I'm saying? They not real brothers. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these are the type of dudes that slip through the cracks. These are the type of dudes that they make Blood look whack. You know what I'm saying? And when situations arrive, they don't know how to handle them. You heard what I'm saying? Now, boom. When I first turned Don Moon back in 1997 or 8, that was 1997. I turned Don Moon, right? And when I turned Don Moon, you know what I'm saying? It was like, that's part of the second generation, you know what I'm saying? But the dude that brought me home from Don Moon was part of the first generation. Salute to my guy, Duke Mafia out there. Rest in peace. Y'all see I did a spread on him. You know what I'm saying? He's official. All the real rights know him. You understand what I'm saying? He was down there in 1A, 1B, the OBB, OB slash, everywhere you can name on the island back in 94, 95, 96. He was banging hard. You understand what I'm saying? Hard. My man Duke was on the island from 94 all the way to 96. And he went up north in 96. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knew my man Duke, non-trade gangster, banging hard. Mittens and all that. You understand what I'm saying? Set tripping and all that. Yeah, that's my guy Duke. You heard? Rest in peace to him. Now, he the guy that brought me home. Now, everybody know my guy Duke, he was official, you know what I'm saying? Put in a lot of work from the first generation. And when he brought me home, he just brought me home. He told me, like, yo, Wayno brought him home. Official tissue, Wayno out there, you know what I'm saying? Still alive, you know what I'm saying? I just got in contact with him when my guy Duke died. And he official tissue. I always heard stories on Wayno, Duke, you know what I'm saying? It was down there putting it in, you know what I'm saying? Wayno is one of the first OGs, generals, whatever you want to call them. You understand what I'm saying? No, niggas can't front on my guy Wayno out there. Niggas can't front on my guy out there. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I believe Wayno was from the Bronx. You heard? I think Cypress area. You know what I'm saying? And my guy put it in. You heard? And that's who brought my guy home. You know what I'm saying? So my bloodline is official. You heard? My bloodline is official. But I didn't come in the blood with my back against the wall. I didn't come in the blood wanting to be down, having to put in work, be down, and this and that and that and this. My work was already established. My boys, Duke Mafia, already knew where I stand. He already knew. He already seen me put in work. You know what I'm saying? From back in '94, when I jumped off on him on the island. You heard? When we went to the Bing together. You understand what I'm saying? You heard? Because we was popping off on niggas. We was controlling up there, 6 up and all that. You understand what I'm saying? So my guy Duke already knew where I stand at. So when I went to Nat and I turned Don Moon, you heard, it was, you know, I turned Don Moon around some official cats. You know what I'm saying? You had to do OG Powerful. You know what I'm saying? He was going by OG Powerful. It was a thing with his name back then because he had OG Powerful and it was blood there. Like, it was niggas there like, this nigga ain't no OG. You know what I'm saying? Why he got OG on the front of his name? You know what I'm saying? Only one nigga that we call OG, and that was OG Mac at the time, you know what I'm saying? And this nigga coming up north, he running around with this OG Powerful shit, you heard? And basically, only reason why he was running by that because he did a bid before and he was guard body, he was going by Powerful, and then like I told y'all, a lot of guard bodies A lot of dudes that was guard body in the early stages of blood, they turned blood. You understand what I'm saying? Because they was official, you know what I'm saying? They didn't like the pressure that they was seeing. They didn't like the pressure that they was witnessing. A lot of the guard bodies, they was up north, you know what I'm saying, building with the guards on guard time, you understand what I'm saying, doing them. And when they came back down to the island, they was seeing a different type of oppression. Some of them was even going through their own problems with Lag Kings and the Yetas, where dudes is grouping up on them, you know what I'm saying? It's 1 against 5 niggas and 1 against 10 niggas and all, like 2 niggas on 7 niggas and all, like 7 niggas on 2 niggas and all. Like, that's what was going on. And you had a lot of black brothers that if they didn't know you like that, or they didn't rock with you like that, they wasn't willing to put themselves in beef for you. You heard? Especially, you know what I'm saying? So it used to be a lot of times, it used to be like 8, 9 Spanish brothers, Latin King niggas, Denieta niggas on 2 or 3 black niggas. You heard? Or 2 or 3 black niggas going at it with like 10 niggas. You heard? Yeah, it used to be a lot of situations like that. And a lot of black dudes that was neutral used to be just sitting back. You heard? Minding their business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know what homeboy did. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times they was getting the upper hand with that. You know what I'm saying? And each time that people move on another, like you got one race moving on another race, and then the other race is not really doing nothing, that makes that race powerful, man. That makes that race more powerful. Whether it's giving them more heart, you know what I'm saying, to go at niggas, you heard, or it was giving them more courage, you heard, to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So you had a lot of dudes, a lot of Spanish brothers that was coming to prison scared. If it was up to them to hold it down by themselves, they probably would be taking losses. They probably wouldn't even be in the group. You know what I'm saying? But being that there was that Latin King and that Yeta there for them to fall back on, it was easy for them to get their weight up, man. You heard? So you'll see a Spanish dude come in, and then within a month's time, he got his weight up. You know what I'm saying? You see him with the dudes, he running around eating, they smoking, they on the phone, they doing everything. You know what I'm saying? And black dudes, you know what I'm saying, it's every man for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Unless we know you, unless we rock with you, unless you give us a reason to pay attention to you, unless you give us a reason to follow you. That's how black people is, you heard? You know what I'm saying? You got to have a reason to rock with that man. That man, you got to know that man official, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And that shit was getting us in the long run, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, black people and Spanish people were brought up different. So then when we got to prison, under the certain type of pressures, dudes was moving different, you know what I'm saying? Because when I first went to jail, it was every man for themselves, and you had to represent on your own, no matter if your peoples was there with you or not. You heard? Because if your peoples was there and your peoples was strong, and you kept, you know, your peoples kept stepping up for you, your peoples kept fighting your battles, your peoples was keeping everybody off of you, that was called living off the strength. And black niggas wouldn't let you live off the strength like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just hate to say it, with Spanish brothers, they was, you know, they don't even look at that. They look at that, they unified, you know what I'm saying? They tight, you know what I'm saying? But when black people, you know what I'm saying, congregate together and they consider dudes weak, or they consider dudes soft or whatever, or they automatically, everybody, niggas be like, yo, you living off the strength, B. You living off the strength. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a difference in the way dudes was bidding. It was a difference in the way dudes looked at bidding. You understand what I'm saying? You heard? In the 90s and in the thousands, you heard? So by the time the Bloods rolled in, you know what I'm saying, you had a lot of people, even black people, that wasn't very receptive of it. You know what I'm saying? They was looking at like, who these dudes? You know what I'm saying? Who these dudes? You know what I'm saying? Because the Bloods was forcing you to recognize, you heard? The Bloods was forcing you to recognize, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Niggas will be in the house and it'll be a 4, 5, 6 bloods over there. And then niggas will be in the house, everything will be going smooth, everything will be going right. The next thing you know, you see 4, 5, 6, 7 black niggas popping off with some Spanish niggas. And niggas is sitting back looking like, yo, what the fuck is going on over there? But what's going on over there, you got dudes you got black brothers that's banding together for a cause, because they all on the same type of time. You understand what I'm saying? And basically, you got some other brothers, some Spanish brothers, Latin Kings and Yeta dudes that's looking at these blood brothers as a threat. So eventually, a problem arises, and basically everybody take their sides. All the neutral Spanish dudes take their sides, look and see what's going on, or the neutral black dudes take their sides, they see what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? And to make the best man win. You heard? But the Bloods was coming at niggas. The Bloods was making their name on that island because they started from the box. And just like they dropping the jewels on We Locked In, you got the dude Soul B dropping the jewels saying that a lot of this stuff started with Jamaican gangs, that Scully and them was down with the Lions in them, because when Scully and them got into that beef on the island and they cut his grandmother, it was up after that. It was up. You understand what I'm saying? Then you had the smoke. You heard? I heard my guy L, Big Head L from Tremont started the smoke. You heard? Was one of the dudes that started the smoke. You heard? And a lot of dudes don't know Big Head L is connected to OG Mac. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Niggas used to run together in the street. Niggas was running together on that island. And Big Head L was this major force. You heard? Big Head L was one of them dudes on the island that y'all dudes don't never really hear about. And he was holding down the BX, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Knocking dudes' eyes out and everything. Yeah, B. And that's the reason why you don't hear about Big Head L, because Big Head L was putting in that work on the album. You understand what I'm saying? But I heard that my man Big Head L from Tremont, he started the smoke. Or he was one of the dudes that started the smoke. And the smoke had an alliance with the Bloods. So you had the Lions, the Bloods, and the smoke going hard against the Latin Kings and the Nietas and whoever else that wanted to join. You heard? You see what I'm saying? So it was a full-fledged war on the island that basically the Bloods started getting their numbers up. They started getting their weight up. You understand what I'm saying? And they started getting their name up. And everybody started running around like, who these Blood dudes, man? Who these Blood dudes that I keep hearing about? You understand what I'm saying? And by the time I got up north in 1996, you heard, the first Blood, like I told you, that I was up north with was my guy La Guns. You heard, that I was in Washington with. And this Blood dude named Cheeks from Brownsville. And Hitler was in Washington with me at the time too. And I didn't know, when I first got there, I didn't know Hitler was Blood. But when La Guns got there and Cheeks got there from Brownsville, and they was Blood, and they was walking around that yard with their blood shit on, with their chests out, waiting for anybody to step to them. And the Latin Kings was thick in there. The Latin Kings was thick in there. You heard? But my man La Guns got there, and he was spinning that yard, and he was spinning that yard on some, I wish a nigga would, bitch. I wish a nigga would, man. You understand what I'm saying? And that was like the first, like, real time that I was really around a Blood dude. You know what I'm saying? But I got out of there quick. And then, when I got the Kawasaki, I was around a few Bloods, but I really wasn't in population. I was in the RMU, and then they sent me the Eastern, Nap, you heard? And that's where I turned down Moo at. That's where my guy Duke Mafia brought me home at. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was in there running around with dudes anyway, and this and that and that and this, and then I turned Blood. But just so happens, when I turned Blood, the dude that OG Mac supposed to have snitched on and lied on is in the jail. And not only that, he digged me. He from the Bronx. My guy DQ. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I turned Blood, and my guy Don Q put me to the side to let me know what I just got a part of. You understand what I'm saying? And let me know what was going on. And he asked me about 2 names, you heard? And at the time, I didn't know who these dudes was because I had just turned down Moo. And one of the names of the people that he asked me for was Soul B. He asked me, did I know Soul B? And at the time, I told him I didn't know Soul B. And he was like, yo, yeah, because these guys is trying to get the papers from me, but I'm not sending them the papers. You understand what I'm saying? You heard? Because it was under the pressure at the time that a lot of dudes, it was a few dudes out there, Big Iz, Soul B, CK, a few other dudes out there. Them dudes wanted them papers so they could expose OG Mac, so they could take that Blood UBN shit from him. You heard? But Don Q was a gangster, a boogie down gangster. You understand what I'm saying? And he told me straight up what he told me. You heard? He wasn't sending none of them dudes the papers because OG Mac was getting him out of jail. Yeah, OG Mac was getting him out of jail. And a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? OG Mac acknowledged that he did the wrong thing, and he was writing an affidavit to get Don Q out of jail. So Don Q was a gangster. He was a G. He was in jail for something he didn't do. So basically, Don Q wasn't silly, and he wasn't going to just send paperwork to Soul B, send paperwork to Big Iz, send paperwork to Tom Cross, because Tom Cross didn't even have the paperwork at the time. That's the reason why Tom Cross was going through all the problems that he was going through with the Bloods at first. And that's why a lot of dudes was mad at Don Q, because they were saying that basically why niggas ain't sending out the papers on OG Mac. But Don Q had a plan. Don Q was mad nice in law, so Don Q also knew that if I sent out the papers on OG Mac and saying he ratted on me and put me in jail for a crime that I didn't commit, it was a good chance that I wasn't going to get out of jail. You understand what I'm saying? Early, because Don Q was trying to get out of jail early. You understand what I'm saying? Because he didn't commit the crime that OG Mac lied on him on. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, Don Q was a real G, and he told me straight up out his own mouth, you know Soul B? You know Big Iz? I said, no. He said, well, these dudes is trying to get the papers from me. I ain't sending them dudes nothing. You heard? Tom Cross TC don't even got the papers. You heard? You understand what I'm saying? This dude is going to get me out of jail. You heard? I already sent my lawyers to him. He's already signed an affidavit. So a lot of people didn't know that OG Mac was meeting in when he was in Comstock, Adam Aseg, he was about to meet, or he was meeting with these Don Q lawyers to get Don Q out of jail because OG Mac told Don Q lawyers from the jump he made a mistake, he's sorry, and he's willing to make that mistake better. You understand what I'm saying? Well, here in the street world, the mistake is already done. He snitched, so he's a rat. That's why he's locked up in the feds out of town. And I heard that they got at him recently. You heard? Behind that snitching shit. You heard? So you can't hide from it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He was in the feds for a while, and that snitching shit didn't come up on him. You heard? But then the snitching shit did come up on him, and I heard eventually he did get hit recently. You heard? And he's in, because the feds don't play that snitching shit. You heard? So that's what he have to live with. You know what I'm saying? OG Mac will have to live with that. And he got 55 years to live with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's on him. You heard? But a lot of people didn't know that he was in the process of trying to make it right for Don Q and himself. Fuck the Blood Nation. You understand what I'm saying? But you had dudes in the Blood Nation that wanted to take it from him. And go check out that interview on We Locked In. Soul B clarifies it. And I respect Soul B as a godfather or a general or as an OG of this blood shit, because I remember hearing Soul B name, and I remember seeing the interview he did when he came home on the Queen's Flip. And when he had the title, The Big Homies of the Big Homies, I just thought, like, here is another black dude, OG black dude, big-headed black dude from Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying, feeling himself, you know what I'm saying, calling himself the big homies of the big homies. But after listening to that interview that he did on We Locked In, I realized that Soul B was the closest thing to the person that took over the Bloods, man. You heard? And he probably could have kept the shit going and made it more powerful, you heard? Because I listened to a story and he said that old timers told him that he needed to go back into that blood nation, take over it, and teach the brothers the history, the revolutionary part, and all the other stuff into the nation. You understand what I'm saying? And when I heard that, I respected that man. You know what I'm saying? I realized his importance of him being blood and me hearing his name back when I turned blood in 1997. You heard? And I never judged that man after all them years of hearing his name. So be, put in work. You understand what I'm saying? Just like all the other OGs that I heard of their names and I didn't know them, but I always listened to how they move, how they conduct themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was a young G in that blood nation, but at the end of the day, I had my own mind. I always had my own mind. I wasn't just doing anything, you heard? A blood nigga couldn't tell me, yo, we gotta eat this nigga for nothing, or this and that, this. I don't just follow orders, you heard? And I wasn't no crash dummy up there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't got no scars on my face, you heard, where I wasn't letting dudes snake me like that, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Because the second generation, like Soul B said some powerful stuff on that interview on We Locked In. He said the second generation was supposed to be bigger than what it was. You understand what I'm saying? The second generation was supposed to be the generation that was supposed to take us to new heights. You heard? The second generation was supposed to set out the foundation for the third generation, for the programs, for the job fairs, and all the stuff that we were supposed to have on the outside. You know what I'm saying? And for our homies to coming home to be a part of. You heard? Like how they got all these SOSs and all that. Those supposed to be the blood's supposed to be working in those. Even though there's a lot of blood gang members working in them now, but those were supposed to be started by the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Them non-profits, you understand what I'm saying? Them government assistant programs, they were supposed to be started by the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Because you know why? Them 200 boxes was built for the Bloods. Yeah, man. A lot of y'all don't know that Governor Pataki, you had the Mayor Giuliani and you had Governor Pataki. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a mistake that the Bloods and the gang situation blew big. They had a plan, and the plan was Giuliani was going to become mayor of the city, and when he became mayor of the city, what did he do? He started quality of life. He started locking up everybody. I don't care what you was doing out there. I don't care if you jaywalk. He was locking you up for buying drugs. He was locking you up for selling drugs. He was locking up all the gun busters. He was locking up all the shooters. He was locking up everybody. You know what I'm saying? When I was up north, when you turn around, almost my whole block got locked up, man. Me, my man my man Black, my man this person, that person, Fito. Everybody was in jail, man. Everybody was in jail in the 90s, the late 90s, you heard? Everybody was in jail. Everybody was up north. I don't care which, dudes had all kind of bids. 3 to 6s, 7 to 15s, 7.5 to 15s, 6 to 12s, 5 to 15s, 25 to life, 20 to life, 10 to life, 3 to 6, 4 to 8. There wasn't no 2 to 4s, no 2 to 6s. Everything was 4 and better. Everything was 4 and better. Everybody that was locked up from our neighborhood was doing 4 and better. You know what I'm saying? So when that gang shit jumped off and it was exploding and it was flooding the state, that's when they came out with the idea of building up the double bunk boxes, the 200 chutes, the 200 boxes. I was up north when they was building them. You know what I'm saying? And they said the main reason why they was building them 200 boxes because of the Bloods. We gonna build boxes where we could house these guys all together. They was trying to do like they was doing out of town, like they was doing it, they started to do in California. You know what I'm saying? You down with a gang, we gonna put all y'all gang niggas together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all dudes is wilding out. Y'all dudes got all this box town. We gonna double bunk y'all dudes together. That's where the double bunk boxes came from the Bloods, from the gang inflection. You heard? They didn't build double bunk boxes, two-man boxes, where you don't even leave your cell. Your yard is in the back of your cell. Your shower is in your cell. Your food come to your cell. Medical come to your cell. Everything comes to your cell. You do not leave that cell, that double bunk cell. They started building 200 boxes. They was calling them 200 double bunk boxes. They built one in Green, Marcy, Mid-State. They got so bold with it, they built a big one up in upstate New York. They was building upstate when I was in Clinton. They opened it up when I was in Southport. And you know who they used to build them double bunk boxes? You know how they got the funding to build them double bunk boxes? The Bloods. They said, yo, we got these Blood gang members, these black dudes from New York City coming up here with this blood shit. They flooding the state, this and that and this. They cutting dudes, they stabbing dudes. We gonna get rid of these dudes. That's why the first place they sent them was Sing Sing. Then the second place they started sending them was Attica. Because they said, yeah, send them niggas to Attica. Let the police whip on their ass a little bit. Let them police beat their ass, pull them out, kick them in the ass, break their jaw, break their arm. You know what I'm saying? Take their good time, give them new charges. So, you know what I'm saying? Shit on their family when they come to see them, all kind of stuff. Let's do all that to them. Send them to Attica. And like Soul B said, they rose up against that because the police was doing Bloods dirty in Attica. They was doing everybody dirty in Attica. But when the Bloods came, they really had somebody to pick on. You know what I'm saying? Because they already hearing about these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And they don't like these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't like these dudes. So they started putting pressure on these dudes, pulling these dudes out, beating them up, smacking dudes up, sending dudes to the box. And just like Soul B said, they's like, yo, man, none of that shit no more, B. COs put a hand on another Blood, man, it's up for them. You heard? And every Blood that don't pop, it's up for them. You heard? So basically, dudes started coming out. Niggas did, it never failed. Police did something to a Blood, beat a Blood nigga up, and they popped up there in Attica. Every chance they cell open and they had a chance to get at a police, they got at a police. You heard? Beating them niggas up. You heard? So basically, niggas started getting their name up. So cause the police was bugging. The police, you know, when you got dudes popping on them niggas without fear of getting beat up and sent to the box with a whole bunch of motherload of box time, nigga, that's a problem, nigga. Them COs is used to having niggas shook, nigga. They'll pull a dude out of 50 niggas. They'll pull a dude out the line of 50 niggas and tell the 50 niggas to keep going. And niggas start whipping on that dude, B. And the 50 dudes could hear this dude getting his ass whipped by the COs and keep it going, bro. Keep it going, B. So don't tell me about all that prisoners, tough shit, and all them niggas that's gangsters and all that. You heard? Because it wasn't really until the Bloods came and the Bloods flipped on them police in Attica, man. Cause they got tired of them niggas putting their hand through their ass, beating them niggas up. You know what I'm saying? You heard? I'm talking about beating them niggas up, man. Them niggas will beat you up till they break something on you, man. So it wasn't no regular beat up, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing shit. Them joints where you could hold them down and you could tell them, come on, and I'm ready for you, and come on, let's go, and all that. Nah, nigga. You needed medical attention after they beat you up, B. You needed medical attention. So the Bloods, 1997, 1998, they went to war with the police in Attica, man. And that hit the state hard, man. They hit the state hard. I was in Clinton, and some of them Bloods came to Clinton. You heard? Cause they start boating all them Bloods out of there. They flip the jails. You heard? They boat all the strong Bloods and the Bloods that get in the shit that pop off out of there. With mad box time, keep lock time. You know what I'm saying? Dudes came with bad box and keep lock time. You heard? And my man John Woo, he came. You know what I'm saying? He was locked up for like 30 days when he came, and he was letting me know what was just happening over there in Attica. You know what I'm saying? With Soul B and them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because he was over there with S.I., Soul B, all them dudes. You heard? You know what I'm saying? He even had his own incident over there. You heard? But he was putting it in over there. So he knew what was what. So I knew firsthand what happened with the police and the Bloods in Attica. You know what I'm saying? And from there on, and even before that, the police hated the Bloods. When I say hated the Bloods, I'm talking about they hated the Bloods. You gotta think about it. It wasn't nobody since the Attica riot where dudes had hard enough in the group, you know what I'm saying, to jump off on niggas, you know what I'm saying, to pop off on them police, to get tired of them niggas, pulling them niggas out, sticking their hand through their ass, you know what I'm saying, smacking them niggas, beating them niggas up, jumping them niggas, hitting them niggas with sticks and all that, throwing them niggas in a box, knocking out their teeth, you heard? Giving you permanent knots and all that ain't gonna never go down. Yeah, man. There's people walking around here with permanent knots that'll never go down. You heard? People walking around here with their teeth kicked out. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, big. Police was doing niggas dirty in Attica, all around the state. But Attica was worse, you know what I'm saying? Because the state always got to have a jail that they basically let them niggas do what they want to do. So they could always have a spot to send you to be the worst place in the state. You heard? They gotta have a spot that they could be like, they could send people, they could be like, people would be like, oh, I don't want to go there, I don't want to be there. And that was Attica. It was two spots, actually. It was Attica and Comstock. You know what I'm saying? You heard? Those two spots, the police do you dirty there. You know what I'm saying? So the Bloods was most hated. So after they got it on with the police, the word went around. Lock the Bloods up for everything. Get them the most box time that you could give them. You heard? When they go into the board, make sure you hit them with 2. You heard? And no sympathy for those Bloods. No sympathy. So the Bloods was getting a raw deal. Not only was they the most hated dudes in prison by all the gangs, by some of the races, ethnic groups, niggas was hated, period, man. Then you had a lot of old timers that been bitten in jail that hated the Bloods because they feel that what the Bloods is doing in the state is changing the state. You know what I'm saying? Because slowly but surely, they was taking things back. You know what I'm saying? They was taking things back. Like they took the packages back and they gave dudes TVs. You heard? So they'll trick you in prison. You heard them? The system, the government, they don't just give you what they supposed to give you. They baby give it to you. You know what I'm saying? They give it to you one at a time. You know what I'm saying? They make changes slowly. You heard? Changes that they can make to make the jail run smoothly. They make those changes slowly. They want the jail to be difficult. They want to report to Albany that, yo, we having problems. We gotta lock these dudes up. Yo, we got a gang problem. Yo, we got a drug problem. They want to have these problems so they could do what they want to do. They could get the right to do what they want to do in these jails. You know what I'm saying? So the Bloods wasn't making it easy for these dudes. The Bloods was giving these dudes a lot of paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you turned around, somebody was getting cut in that yard. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of riots going down. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of wars going down. It was a lot of race riots going down. So the Bloods was keeping the police busy. You know what I'm saying? They was always doing cell searches. You know what I'm saying? They was always in the booths, looking on their binoculars, you know what I'm saying? looking at what the Bloods is doing, following Blood members, you heard? Every time a head Blood dude came into jail, rarely did he come to population. Rarely. You hear that OG is in the spot. You hear that 5-star general is in the spot. You know what I'm saying? That nigga, you might only hear that motherfucker in the spot for a week. Ty Guns, they let Ty Guns come to the spot for a week before they Adam Sagged them, got him out of there. You heard? Set him up. You heard? You see what I'm saying? Cause they wanted to give him time to get into problems. You heard? They wanted to see what was going to jump off. You heard? See, and a lot of people, don't know that's what they did to OG Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like when OG Mac was in prison, they was like, a lot of people was speculating, like, a lot of people used to wonder, like, yo, you think the feds gonna come snatch up this nigga OG Mac for starting the Blood shit? And a lot of people thought that the feds was gonna come snatch him out of Comstock. They thought he wasn't even gonna come home, because a lot of people didn't know. OG Mac didn't have a lot of time. OG Mac only had a 3 to 6. So he basically did almost that whole 6. You understand what I'm saying? Because basically they knew he started the Blood shit. So basically they kept him locked up after a while. Once they noticed that he started the Blood shit, they had him in Comstock, and then eventually they Adam Sagged him. You know what I'm saying? And he was in Adam Sag all that time until he went home. You heard? And he wanted to be in Adam Sag because he knew that it was people running around the state saying that he was snitching, but he also knew that they didn't have the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And so he wanted to stay in the box. He wanted to, because like I told you, my man Don Q was sending his lawyers to OG Mac. OG Mac was doing the right thing. He already was working with the lawyers, ready to sign an affidavit and everything, saying that he lied on Don Q and this and that. He was young and he was made a mistake and he was scared and he was fearful for his life of niggas and all that. And basically, he slid out the door. But before he slid out the door, there was a lot of people speculating like, yo, the feds gonna come and grab that nigga OG Mac. But a lot of people don't know how the feds work. The feds ain't just want that one man for starting the UBN or starting the Bloods. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Because the feds wanted him, let him come home. Why would the feds want just one nigga? 1 or 2 or 3 niggas? Or a couple of generals, a couple of jailhouse niggas, you heard? Nah, the feds let him come home because they knew he was going to come home. And what was he going to do? He was going to get with other Blood niggas. Go with other Blood niggas. Now, the feds already got it on record that he ratted. You know what I'm saying? They know he's a rat. So, boom, let this man go home. Because when we do round him up, he going to be able to bring in how many niggas that got locked up with OG? About 60, 70 niggas? You heard? Yeah. So that's what they want to do. The feds ain't stupid. Only these people that's doing crime is stupid. You understand what I'm saying? So the feds let OG Mac come home, whereas a lot of people thought that the feds was just going to swoop down in Comstock, grab that nigga out the box, and say, yeah, nigga, you started that Blood Nation shit, nigga. You going to jail forever. Nah, they didn't do that. They let him go home, you heard, because they knew that he was going to go out there and mingle and do that. And what did he do? He went out there and he was mingling. I heard OG Mac went to the street, man, he was getting the utmost respect. He was riding through different boroughs, different neighborhoods, different blocks that it was dime moves on, and he was pulling up. He was like, yo, I'm OG Mac. And on some blocks, niggas was laughing at him, but on most blocks, niggas was giving him his respect. And niggas was even setting them out. I'm talking about setting them out. Giving them cash, giving them drugs, giving them opportunity, letting them be a part of their operation. How you think that when he went to jail, he went down for checks. He was in the scamming. He was into drugs. He was into the gang activity. Nigga, they had OG Mac, they had his hand a part of every little thing. Because everybody that he was around, They was doing something. They was getting to the bag. But what happened? They used him to bring all them niggas in. You know what I'm saying? Took them niggas down on a $60, $70 man indictment. Chicks and all. You heard? So a lot of people don't be knowing what they talking about. A lot of people don't understand how the government work. A lot of people didn't understand that the Bloods was the most hated people in the world up there at the time. Because not only was they hated by the Latin Kings, the Nietas, certain Spanish people, Jamaican niggas hated the Bloods. Yeah. You had real gangsters that didn't like the Bloods, man. Niggas ain't like the Bloods, man. Then you had old timers that didn't like the Bloods. You heard? Old timers that been in jail for 20, 30 years. These niggas coming up here fucking up the jails. Messing up they taking our programs. They taking our special privileges. You heard? And you had old timers up there whispering, telling people like, yeah, man, everything that the dudes fought for in the Attica riot, all the packages and the this and the that and the clothing and this and that and all that, they taking that back slowly but surely. And they was. 1 minute is a memo going around. You can't get this no more. You can't get this in the package no more. Another memo going around 6 months later. You can't do this. You can't do that. Another memo going around. Yeah, we're going to start taking the weights out. Matter of fact, we ain't going to take the weights out. If the weights break, once the weights break, they won't be replaced. Then 6 months, another memo come. Oh, yo, no smoking in none of the buildings. You won't be able to smoke in none of your buildings. If you get caught smoking in the building, it's a ticket. They was working us. So they was taking everything back. And they was using that gang shit to take everything back. So you had a lot of old timers. They dealt with individual blood dudes. They dug individual blood dudes that they knew before they was blood, or they knew why they was blood, or because they dig the dude's style, because the dude was official, or dude had some swag. But overallly, dudes hated the Bloods, man. These motherfuckers is messing up my bed, man. You heard? And then that's not even counting the people that had fear of the Bloods. Because they used to watch how Bloods used to get into problems and they jumping on dudes. They setting it on dudes. You heard? They cutting dudes. They stabbing dudes. It got to the point where in a lot of them jails, a lot of the Bloods was putting in all the work. Doing all the work. You was going to them yards, man. Dudes was trying to go home, bro. A lot of dudes be trying to go home. It be a certain amount of dudes that be into the mess, into the drugs, into the gang activity, into stabbing niggas, into cutting niggas, into the drama. You heard? But it be a lot of dudes that just mind their business. And they do a lot of whispering and they do a lot of hating from the sideline. Oh yeah, I don't like them niggas. I don't like that nigga. You heard? So the Bloods had a lot of dudes, a lot of people that hated them. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't say nothing. You heard? You had a lot of dudes that wouldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now, that's why you see on the internet now, you know what I'm saying, you see a lot of Bloods expressing themselves and saying their story. And then in the woodwork, coming out the woodwork, you seeing certain dudes popping out, hating on niggas. You know what I'm saying? Talking dirt. You know what I'm saying? This and that, that and this and that. But it's a lot of dudes that they have problems with the Bloods, and they in the street, and they on the internet. Some people's on the internet. Some of these dudes on the internet, they act like, you know what I'm saying, they're mash niggas out and they official and all that. But a lot of them niggas know that you couldn't do that shit in them jails, B, where them Bloods was at, B, because them Bloods was deep, nigga. And yeah, you had a lot of pussy Bloods, but you had more official Bloods than pussy Bloods. I'm just keeping it real. You had more official Bloods than pussy Bloods, B. You know what I'm saying? And you knew when you was dealing with official blood, B. You know what I'm saying? Because official blood is on blood timing, B. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about blood. You know what I'm saying? They with their homies, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a lot of dudes up north that, you know, hated on the Bloods, man. There's a lot of dudes in the street, they hate on the Bloods, man, because they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But for you to understand the Bloods, you had to be a part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bloods brought a lot of people together. The Bloods brought a lot of unity to brothers, you heard? And just like Soul B said, it hasn't been an organization started since the Bloods, B. Strong, he said the Bloods was strong like the Black Panthers, man. It's just that we was going a whole different direction. Instead of us really helping the people, we started oppressing the people. And that's part of the main reasons why I left Bloods, because like I told y'all, Bloods everything turned into blood on blood, man. Nobody really wanted no beef up there. Niggas started cutting each other, man. Niggas started stabbing each other, man. Because look where it's at today. It's set on set crimes. You know what I'm saying? Set on set violence, you heard? You don't hear about the Bloods and these people getting it on and this and that. All you hearing about now is set versus set. You heard? And these dudes is blood. You know what I'm saying? And when I was Blood, that type of situation wasn't what's up. You heard? Yeah, Bloods used to get it on with Bloods, but Bloods wasn't teaming up and grouping up together, going against each other. It was you know, solid incidents. You know what I'm saying? It was one incident. You heard? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no mad incidents, everybody going against each other. It's this set against that set. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I left the Bloods. I left the Bloods in 2000. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas was going against each other, B. Niggas had cut a blood nigga before they had cut a op nigga. Yeah. Niggas had cut a blood nigga before they cut a op nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because let's get it right. All ops wasn't getting cut. All ops wasn't getting moved on. You heard? That's why you got the stories of Tom Cross. That's why you got the stories of Blue Boy. That's why you got these stories. You heard? Because the Bloods wasn't getting at everybody. And when they started picking and choosing who to get at and not to get at, that's when they was going down. That's when they went down. Because they stopped. They started picking and choosing on who to get at, but they didn't pick and choose when it was time to get at each other. It's a lot of Bloods running around with cuts on their face. You understand what I'm saying? Around their body from other Bloods. They didn't know that was coming. The homie snaked them. For you to get a good cut like that, you got to sneak a motherfucker. You heard? Dudes don't cut people like that straight up. When you see a cut like that, that ain't come from a straight up cut. A dude going gun to gun, a dude cut you from the front where you seen it coming. You should have seen it coming. No, that cut came from the back. That cut came from the side. That cut came on a sneak tip. You heard? 9 times out of 10, you was walking with that dude, talking about something, and next thing you know, that dude blew you. Boom. Or another dude came from behind you while you was talking to your man, a dude that you thought was your man, dude that you thought was your homie, and he blew you. You heard? That's when Bloods went down. That's when I got out of Bloods, B. Know what I'm saying? Because that shit was whack, B. You calling a nigga your homie, you throwing it up with your homie, you building with your homie, you laughing and joking with your homie. Then 3 days later, you come to the yard. These niggas done took, these niggas already done sent your homie out of there. You heard? Now all they got is a story to tell you. Nah, the homie was doing this in Sing Sing. The homie was messing with the chumps in Sing Sing. Nah, the homie was getting the bag in calm stock, and he wasn't setting it out. And I've been running around the jail with this homie for months. I ain't hear none of this shit that y'all talking about. But all of a sudden, y'all blow the nigga, cut the nigga, snake the nigga, stab the nigga, and he ain't even know it was coming. Because if he knew it was coming, he probably would have blew your ass. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when I got out of that down move and that blood nation, because I realized niggas was going to either snake me or I'm going to stab these niggas down. You heard? I'm going to stab these niggas down, B. You heard? So I left early, man. I got out of that joint, B. I seen that, yo, man, these niggas ain't about nothing, B. You heard? And if I stay with these niggas, I'm going to wind up not going home, or I'm going to wind up catching a new one, B. Fucking with these meatball niggas, B. I got to get on with my grandmother, my family, niggas that really love me, man, because these niggas in here really don't love me. These niggas talking this oath, talking this blood shit, talking this 031, talking this all this shit, running around with all this red on. But at the end of the day, at the drop of a dime, at the drop of a hat, these niggas ready to blow my motherfucking head off, man. Or stab me in the back. Collapse my lung, man. You heard? But when it comes to another nigga that get busy, or another nigga that's neutral that get busy, or another nigga that's strong that get busy, y'all niggas politic this shit out. But when niggas be like, yo, the homie this, the homie that, the homie this, the homie that, the homie this, the homie that, it's this little weak-ass investigation or this little weak-ass shit. The next thing you know, the homie hit. Or the homie cut. So I got out that shit. That shit was whack, nigga. Know what I'm saying? And I seen favoritism. I seen like dudes that have beef with niggas. And they'll politic it out. Yo, that's my man. Yo, that shit ain't worth it. Yo. But then another homie, something happened like with a little homie. Yo, that nigga out of here, B. And he was out of there. He was out of there, nigga. They don't talk about that, nigga. They don't tell you how many niggas that got cut, snaked, stabbed, you heard, by their own kind. You heard? You got niggas that got cut, stabbed by Lion King and the other niggas. Then you got them same niggas that they got cut and stabbed by their own bloods. So I'm just telling y'all dudes, man. You heard? Bloods was the most hated, nigga. And they still the most hated, nigga. Why you think every time a story on the internet and the Bloods got something to do with it, everybody in tune? You heard? Everybody in tune. Everybody want to hear about that blood loss. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to see the Bloods beef. You heard? Who the biggest blood? You heard? The biggest blood is the nigga that made the biggest difference. The biggest blood is the person that laid by example. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a lot of history on the Bloods that we don't talk about. You know, we always talk about the violence. We always talk about the grungy stuff, the dirt, the snake shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's a few positive things that came out the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Like unity. You know what I'm saying? Bloods brought a lot of black brothers together, brought a lot of Spanish brothers together. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It brought a lot of the boroughs together. You know what I'm saying? Because before the Bloods, it was the borough thing, you know what I'm saying? And when the Bloods came out, the Bloods started like knocking down that borough thing because the Bloods, you had Brooklyn niggas messing with Bronx niggas. You had Bronx niggas messing with Queens niggas. You had Queens niggas messing with Harlem niggas. You know what I'm saying? You had Harlem niggas messing with Staten Island niggas. You had New York City niggas messing with upstate niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of upstate blood niggas turn blood. You heard? A lot of them official dudes that would like to put it in. You heard? Yeah. I was up north with a lot of official bloods. You know what I'm saying? Upstate bloods. You know what I'm saying? You had Big Zach. You had Buck. You had my son Drama. You had Will from out of Buffalo. You had CK. You heard? CK Diamonds. You had Mad Bloods, B. Mad Bloods, you know what I'm saying? But the ones that I can remember, the ones that was putting in work, Big Zach from out of Buffalo, Big Buck from out of Buffalo. I told you Buck aired out two Dominican niggas in the yard for drama in the same day, nigga. Hit 2 niggas in the yard in Clinton and got right away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because them niggas cut my son Drama from Syracuse because my son Drama was dead and them niggas on they bud. You know what I'm saying? Well, they thought my man Drama was dead and niggas on their bud, but my man Drama was just paying that nigga when he want to pay niggas because that's how my man Drama used to do. My man Drama used to get weed from niggas and he paid niggas when he want to pay niggas if he paid niggas at all. And these niggas was getting paid slow or late and them niggas took it upon themselves because they thought niggas wasn't fucking with Drama like that because Drama was one of them strong blood niggas. He was running around telling Bloods to suck his dick and everything. Bloods that didn't feel him and all that, but Drama was quick to tell you suck his dick. You heard? Know what I'm saying? And he wasn't telling all Bloods that. He was telling particular Bloods that he knew was talking shit about him. So he'll see a nigga and be like, you man, suck my dick, nigga. You heard? And niggas wouldn't do nothing. Yo, Drama, you funny, but then they'll go back. Yo, man, your Drama fool, man. Yo, niggas gotta get that nigga Drama, man. So that was going around. So I guess the Dominican niggas thought that Drama was gonna be fool. So they tried to hit him first. Because he owed them niggas money. For like 2 sugar bags, you heard? Like 2 25s or whatever, right? That man Drama, they snuck Drama. That nigga Drama slammed that nigga on his head, beat the nigga up. And then the police took him down. He went to IPC. And my man Buck came to the yard the next day and aired out 2 Dominican niggas, you heard? 2 of them niggas in the yard. Hit both of them niggas, you heard? And got away with it, you heard? So my man Buck was official from Buffalo. I heard my man Buck got killed. You know what I'm saying? Zach was official. Diesel was nigga in the yard. Nigga arms was out here, B. You know what I'm saying? That nigga looked like somebody in a book. You know what I'm saying? Like out of Muscle with Fitness books. You know what I'm saying? He put in work. You know what I'm saying? He was official. You had Little Will from Buffalo. That nigga was a danger. That nigga was putting in mad work, you heard? You know what I'm saying? On anybody, you heard? On anybody. So the Bloods brought a lot of dudes together, you know what I'm saying? Brought a lot of dudes together. But then in the second part of the second generation, dudes started going apart, you know what I'm saying? By getting in the beef with everybody. And as you see, you hearing the stories on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Dudes set tripping, you know what I'm saying? Dudes power tripping, you heard? You know what I'm saying? I left the Down Moon Nation at the right time, B. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes, all them generals, all them G's, a lot of them dudes started getting big-headed, you heard? A lot of them dudes started getting big-headed. When OG Mac went home, a lot of them dudes started getting big-headed, and they thinking that they built to take over the nation. Nigga, you ain't built to take over no nation. Because a lot of them OG niggas, some of them OG niggas, them niggas was sellouts, B. Them niggas was sellouts, B. Yeah, man. A lot of them niggas will sell you out to niggas they know, B. You heard? Why you think the nigga Blue Boy turned Crip? You heard? Listen to his story. He just woke up one day and turned Crip. You know why he did that? Because he didn't like the Bloods. I told y'all the Bloods was the most hated. And Blue Boy was official nigga in the state that been putting it in since the 80s. Since the 80s he been putting it in. You know what I'm saying? So he's watching these niggas come up. He's hearing these niggas get their name up. You heard? He's hearing about dudes becoming OGs, dudes becoming generals. You know what I'm saying? You heard? And he's hearing these shit, and he's thinking like, man, these dudes ain't putting half the work I put in. These dudes is cowards, man. Some of these dudes is young punks. So he said, you know something? I don't like these blood niggas so much. I'm going to wake up one day. I'm going to make myself Crip. And that's what he did. He woke up one day in the jail and he made himself Crip. You heard? You ain't never hear no Bloods got at him. You never heard no Bloods got at no Blue Boy. Why? Because some of them top blood dudes, you heard? Blue Boy is they man. Blue Boy is they man. And I'm not coming at none of them, but y'all got to look at this ideology. Blue Boy is they man. You heard? But one day, Blue Boy just wake up and say, you know something? I'm coming Crip. And we going to be going against them Bloods. Why would a dude wake up and want to become part of a gang of the opposing dudes that he know? You see, when he came out of jail, all these dudes jumped up, and I'm not coming at them. All these dudes jumped up and they was like, yo, Blue Boy, my dude, that's my man, he official, Blue Boy official. But why did he just wake up one day and say he want to become Crip, knowing that all y'all dudes that's his mans, that's at the top of the blood shit? Why? It just don't make no sense. So to me, like I said, a lot of them niggas that's he knew that's at the top of the blood shit, he know them niggas, but that don't mean that he gotta respect them niggas. You understand what I'm saying? And in prison, people have a way of letting you know how they respect you. You heard? A person could show you that they respect you, you know, straight up, but there's also little ways and little things that they could do to you to let you know and let other gangsters know that they really don't respect you. You heard? If y'all know what I'm talking about, talk to me, B. Word to my mother. And that's the type of vibe that Blue Boy had. You understand what I'm saying? That's the type of vibe that Blue Boy had. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all never heard Tom Cross return anything. Tom Cross had beef with the Bloods since it started. TC was being accused of killing OG Ty, the dude that we used to put the teardrop for. OG Mac wrote Ty in the lessons. So Tom Cross been fooled. But why Tom Cross never woke up and just said, yo, you know something? I'm Latin King. And Tom Cross had a good, he was strong with the Spanish brothers. Pardon me. He was strong with the Spanish brothers. You heard? With the Latin brothers. He was strong with the Latin brothers. When he stepped to that dude Pimp, or when he had that problem, when he stepped to that dude Pimp in Elmira over, I'm fool, I'm supposed to be fool, and you supposed to be OG. I heard he had every Spanish brother in the jail with him, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Tom Cross. He didn't turn Latin King. He didn't turn Ride Hunter. He didn't turn the Yetta. So why did Blue Boy turn Crip? Now, like I said, I'm not coming at Blue Boy because I made my videos on Blue Boy, but I'm just pointing out something. I'm not going to turn Crip if I'm neutral and I got dudes that's blood. You heard that I know all the top bloods, the Soul B's, the man dudes, the Shaquells, all these dudes, the top blood niggas, the OGs, the dudes that's supposed to be running the show, if I know them like that, why am I going to wake up one day and just make myself the opposing gang? Even though the Crips wasn't the opposing gang at the time like that in Clinton, in the state, but they was becoming. Because there was little wars up there with Bloods and Crips. You heard? When I was up there, it wasn't no wars between Bloods and Crips. You heard? It wasn't enough Crips up there. You heard? But when I left, I started hearing little stories about Bloods and Crips getting into little wars up there. Psych biking them niggas and shadowing them niggas in Comstock with germs in them. It was the little wars. You heard? With Crips. After I left. And those wars was in the thousands. Those wars was when Blue Boy woke up one day and said, you know something, I'm Crip. Told the Crip nigga send me the lessons down. I'm Crip from now on. Cause I'm gonna show the jail that these blood niggas ain't as tough as they think they is. Because these young niggas I don't know like that, right? But I know they leaders. I know the niggas that I was bidding with. Matter of fact, they leaders know me. This is his ideology. Because you have to have this type of ideology to wake up one day and turn Crip. You heard? So, I'm just telling y'all, the Bloods was the most hated. Reading between the lines. Part 1.